Move my mic up. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Hot Toys Hotline Live, episode 132. I think, guys, I figured out my issue from last stream, which was already happening when Lane and I first got backstage. It was all blurry. I think I fixed it, so we'll see. I see a lot of people in the chat already, so of course we're going to say what's up, everybody.
We're on time.
We are on time. As you guys come funneling in, please say what's up. And as always, guys, I think it'd be fun to, share maybe something. Again, this is always inspired by Collecting Weekly because I just love that they do it, and I think it's fun. Anything new that you guys got in, feel free to share that in the comments. And as you guys drop your comments, I'll do my best to read it. But glad to be back, guys. I know we weren't on last week, which sucked because we didn't have a chance to talk about Obi-Wan. Maybe towards the end of the stream.
Glad to be back, guys.
I know like it. Oh, that was coming from Lane's. I thought that was like me having YouTube open and it was like delayed. But if we have a chance towards the end of the stream, if you guys really want to, we could talk about the Obi-Wan if you guys really want to hear our thoughts. But I don't have it currently pulled up because I didn't want to rehash like old news. So, but again, if you guys want to talk about it, we certainly will. But let's say what's up, everybody, in the chat, and then we'll get started. First off, thank you so much, Adam, my friend. I appreciate you. A Hotline Hottie for 20 months. You are too kind, my friend. Adam says, hello, Hotline Hotties. Let's roll. Yes, I love it. Thank you for being here, Adam. Always great to see you, my friend. I did check out your review on Superman. Mine should be here very soon, so I'm excited for that.
Ooh.
And, yeah, thanks for being here, dude. Always great to see you.
How is crypto? If you've physically been able to look at him and stuff.
You're talking to Adam, right?
Yeah, Adam. I'm saying, how did you like crypto in the Pain app? So.
Yeah, Adam, I'll let you share your thoughts. I know you're very excited to unbox that figure, so maybe people in the chat would like to hear as well what you thought of it because they haven't had a chance to check out your review. Thank you so much for being here. Tom, a Hotline Hottie, and a great friend. Tom, thanks for being here, dude. As always, I appreciate you. My dude, Valk, a channel member, a moderator, and an all-around goat. Thanks for being here, Valk. Valk says, good afternoon, Connor and friends. Let's have an awesome live stream tonight, dropping those emojis. By the way, guys, Chris will be joining us very shortly. Hopefully, he said he would. We'll see how that goes. Also, I don't know if you guys were aware, I did lose access to my Facebook account for almost a week.
Yeah.
I have no idea what happened with that. I truly don't. And my buddies were ragging on me because I literally had to get verified on Instagram, get the little check temporarily just to get meta support. There was no other way to contact them. So any of you guys run into an issue where the AI just randomly disables your account, I don't know why that happened to me. I don't do anything bad on Facebook. I literally don't comment on anything outside of 1.6. I don't say anything bad. I don't know what happened. The AI just got me for some reason. And I have this feeling like has two reasons why it might have happened. One, because
gotcha.
Yeah, I know. But I use a VPN at work. And also, sometimes when you post 6-scale stuff, Facebook falsely flags it and temporarily removes it. It happens all the time in the Facebook group, the Hot Toys Hotline Facebook group. So maybe from that happening too many times, my account got flagged and the AI said, see you later. But that sucks. So I got my account back. I'm happy about that. So I apologize to anyone that tried to reach out to me. I had a lot of messages. I'm glad that a lot of you guys noticed I was gone. I mean, it makes me feel like I'm somewhat important to some of you guys, so I appreciate that. But I had a lot of people reach out, so I appreciate it. Got my dude Sneaky in the house. What's up, Al? Another Hotline Hottie and another moderator. Thank you for being here, bro. Al says, sup, everyone. I'm out of town this week, so I have to catch the replay. Have a good show. Well, thank you so much for dropping in, bro. Enjoy your, hopefully, vacation, or maybe you're just visiting family. I don't know, but enjoy it nonetheless. Thanks for tuning in, bro. Got my dude Johnny in the house. What's up, Johnny? Another Hotline Hottie. Johnny says, evening, Connor in chat. Recently received and unboxed my Darth Maul 2.0. It's proudly displayed on my Star Wars shelf. Congrats on that. I actually took, do I have it on my desk? I do. I actually took, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to really show you guys, but I'll try. I took the Topo set's eyes and put them on Maul, if it'll focus. Yeah, you can kind of see that nice yellow that you're looking for. They look really good. So if you're getting that Topo set and you're now not sure what to do with your Maul, you're welcome. Now it doesn't want to focus, but looks really good on the Maul. And I know a lot of us were picking up that new Anakin, and he comes with Bo's eyeball set. You're like, do I even need these Topo eyes anymore? You can always toss him on this Maul. And he does come with 2 head sculpts, so you need 2 sets, so definitely really excited for that because the original eyes were kind of orange. They basically looked identical to the Sith Apprentice eyes, which are only accurate to Ahsoka and not Revenge of the Sith or traditional Sith eyes with that yellow. So there's a little tip. And that wasn't mine. I saw somebody else do it on Facebook and I stole it from them. So not my original idea, but definitely a great idea. Shout out to them. My dude Pedro Lopez in the house. What's up, my friend, a Hotline Hottie? I know that hashtag Hotline Confirmed is probably somewhere in the chat. Thanks for being here, my friend. As always, I appreciate you. We got Tim in the house. What's up, Tim? Tim says, happy Halloween, Connor and crew. Just got my creature from the Black Lagoon from Mondo and should be getting my Phantom from Kaustic Plastik in the next 10 days. Congrats on that. I opted to not pay for that extra shipping charge because it seemed like a lot. I saw somebody saying it was like a significant amount of money for the exclusive set, which is what I ordered. I do, as you know, Tim, I got my creature as well, and this thing is freaking sick. I mean, I don't have him posed up really. I mean, this is, you know, kind of accurate. He in some scenes he's very museum-like, but this figure is beautiful. Do I think the paint apps are like spectacular? Not necessarily, but they're pretty dang good, and it's fully seamless, and the head fully pops off and it's magnetic. This is worked on by Beta Metalli, who, if you guys are familiar with him, he's just an absolute freaking legendary creator when it comes to horror stuff. So yeah, this man is a genius, and he has brought us what I think is a very, very hard to beat, and I don't think it'll ever be beat anytime soon. Creature from the Black Lagoon, and you get the revenge parts as well, and I love the base. He's got a spot on my desk right now until I move him elsewhere, but yeah, really awesome figure. So congrats on that, Tim, and I know we're all pretty happy with it. So thanks for being here. And as always, guys, check out the Kaustic Plastik Facebook group if you haven't already. We do have some caustic stuff to talk about a little bit later, some exciting stuff coming up. So I'll remind you when that happens. Adam says, Crypto is okay. I had no issue with him. Emily loved him. Superman figure is awesome. And by the way, Chris has joined us. Chris, thanks for being here. I know you're muted. You're probably on your way home, so I don't know if you could hear us, but I appreciate you dropping in. Okay, all right, so Chris is here with us. Again, guys, we don't have too many topics tonight, but I think we have some cool stuff nonetheless, especially that Bespin Han, which is, of course, the big topic of this week. Really excited to talk about that, but we got Moose in the house, another Hotline Hottie. Moose says, hello, community. What's up, my friend? Pedro says, I got my Sabine and Shin Hot Toys boxes signed by Natasha and, is it Ivana? I think so. Respectfully, this past weekend in San Antonio. There it is. Hashtag Hotline Confirmed. Well, that's awesome. Congrats on that, dude. I'd love to see like the ink choice that you went for on those, because I love the colored ink pens, or paint pens rather. I think they look great on that darker Star Wars packaging. I think it looks awesome. What's up, Jason? Another Hotline Hottie in the house. What's up, my dude? Jason is just slowly racking up those Hot Toys, and we love it. Coming over from 1/12 scale and kind of mingling a little bit in Hot Toys. I appreciate you for being here, my friend, and thanks for being a member as always. We got Blurred Dad Life in the house. What's up, dude? Thanks for being a Hotline Hottie. Blurred Dad Life says, hello, collectors everywhere. Thanks for being here, my friend. Guys, by the way, just a reminder, the t-shirt for October, which will never come back ever again, it is still up. It will be up through the end of October, so maybe one of our moderators can drop a link. Again, that was supposed to be a members-only t-shirt, but the link got dropped, so to be fair, I know Valk got his. I saw his picture of him wearing his, and he said he really loved it, and I love mine, and fingers crossed, I've washed it a couple times. No issues with the logo or anything. It bothers the crap out of me when it gets cracked and stuff. So fingers crossed it stays like that. It looks really good, just like it came out of the packaging. So we got Philly in the house, another Hotline Hottie. Thanks for being here, bro. Philly says, hey, Connor, Lane, and Hotties. Hope you all are well. Just got my dewback I snagged from a BST group. This thing is huge. That's what she said. It is, dude. I've got mine over here, and I kind of underestimated how big it was going to be, and I couldn't put it in my A New Hope display, as you could see, because that sucker's full. I got to move some stuff out of there, but it's pretty full. So I've got it over here off screen on top of some Calyxes that are stacked up with helmets in them, because that's where I put a lot of my bigger vehicles / creatures, and it looks really good over there. It's like a centerpiece for me. We got Clone Trooper in the house. What's up, Clone Trooper? Thanks for being here, dude. Sid Vicious says, I want a t-shirt. Well, they are up on the website now, so I guess you'll have to pick one up. Jason says, 216 in hand now with one more on the way for tomorrow, 3 more in pre-order, filling up the shelf slowly but surely. That's all that matters, dude. You just got to work your way up. I love to hear it, though. I love to hear that you're enjoying the 6-scale stuff. What's up, Mitch? Mitch in the house. I hope you're doing well, Mitch. Something I want to show you guys, which was a absolute pain in the ass. This might look familiar, but not so familiar to you. This is the Mondo Nada from They Live. When I first opened it, the body is ridiculously bad. It's every Mondo body, at least for the human figures that I've experienced, apart from that creature, that's like its own thing, has been really bad. I still have to make some more alterations to it, but I wanted to show you guys because this took me forever to do, but it is possible. And you can see this looks way better, way better. And here he is. This is Lane. Your Discord's going crazy right now. This is, and you can see the color match. Obviously, you can kind of tell on camera. It's not too bad. It really isn't. He's got some blush on his face, so you can't tell. But how much better does that look? And Roddy Piper was like 6'1", so it makes him a little bit taller as well. But yeah, this is dope. I know, shout out to Doggy Dot Customs. He was the one that sculpted a lot of these parts, like the shotgun. This holster is not the right color. It's supposed to be black, so I'm going to fix that. But you could see, way, way better. Way better. So if you guys want to know how to do this, I can share my thoughts. I did not do a video, and I'm glad I didn't because this was awful to do. But I can tell you how I did it. You can see the wrists are way more seamless. If you look on the actual Mondo figure, you could see the ball peg like almost in full. So very happy with this. I still got to tuck the belt under this last loop, but it's a pain in the ass. But if you want to know how to do it, I can certainly help you guys out. But I'm very, very happy with this. So I just wanted to show you guys that it is possible. And I think this is the World Box ATO 12. I tried, I can't remember, the ATO 27 or something. It was huge, so that did not work out. So this is perfect. This body is perfect for that, and it makes it way better. What's up, my dude? 16 Lovers in the house. What's up, my friend? 16 Lovers actually gave me some great photos that he took of the Bespin Han, which we're going to take a look at here very shortly, and I really appreciate that because it really gives you a great look at what the figure's looking like. So shout out to 16 Lovers. He sent me a bunch of HD photos, and I have those in the background ready to pull them up. Dude, I love this movie. Like anything John Carpenter, I'm a huge fan of. That's why I'm willing to like modify. And I was a little worried because again, everything on the original body is proprietary. The pegs, the neck connector, all of it. So it was tough to do. And again, if you're curious, I can share it with you on how to do it. But it's tough. Pliskin ass, Snake Pliskin Inc. ass is Mondo shit. Even on the Storm figure. So I've never owned any of the like comic Mondo figures or animated show. It's just not for me, the visible joints. I've only bought the realistic figures apart from obviously the Creature from the Black Lagoon. I think to me personally, this Creature from the Black Lagoon is Mondo's best 1/6 scale figure, just for my personal taste. Fully seamless body, beautifully integrated swap out, seamless head, just a lot of really cool stuff they did with it. It came with I have it on my desk here. Came with a little bust to put one of the 3 extra heads on, which is freaking cool. So personally, it depends on the figure. I think they're realistic figures. They have great sculpts, but the bodies suck. They're really bad. I mean, the original body on this guy, it had single jointed elbows that wouldn't even go to full 90. And I was like, no, we're not doing this. So I had to swap it out. And these are single jointed, but you can get that pose of him when he goes into, I think it's the bank in the beginning. So I had to swap it out. And also the proportions look way better on this, and he's a little bit taller. So yeah, definitely needed the body swap for sure. Yeah, and it's so funny that this is like a lot of people who haven't seen this film, they know this from like Duke Nukem, right? The classic game Duke Nukem. We don't talk about Duke Nukem forever, do we, Lane? But it's funny that a lot of people know that from Duke Nukem, but it was also in They Live. It's like an iconic line from They Live. Yes, love John Carpenter. Halloween, The Thing, They Live. You know, the list goes on. Escape from New York, like the list goes on. We got Blue Tattoo in the house. What's up, my friend? We got Fig Poser. What's up, dude? Fig Poser says, need that Nightcrawler Deluxe from Mondo, maybe Iceman and Angel too. Yeah, like I said, those aren't for me, but the cool thing about Mondo is they do a lot of variety of stuff, so definitely really cool that people have so many options for comics / animated show stuff. Even if it's not for me, I could appreciate that. It does. It definitely does for sure. Lane, I'm not seeing that. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if it just says it on your end. I'm not seeing it on my end, but we'll roll with it and we'll see how it goes. But guys, we got Bespin Han finally after all this time. And I think arguably this is probably one of the most requested Star Wars figures in recent years. And you would think after the Return of the Jedi Han was announced that that kind of tapered off a little bit, but I felt like that even like increased it even more because people were like, cool, you're giving us Return of the Jedi, but where's Bespin Han? Where's Bespin Han? And finally, guys, we got the Bespin Han. And what's very interesting is when you actually, take a look at the accessories that are included with this. Shout out, I can't remember the gentleman's name, but somebody in the Hot Toys Hotline Facebook group chat pointed out that the reason they included the jacket, because I didn't recall him wearing the jacket with this particular outfit with these boots and these pants. But this
when he's
jacket
on the Falcon?
here, right? So it's when he's sitting on top of the Falcon. It's like a
Going,
10 to 12 second
yeah.
scene of him like repairing the Falcon from the top, and you don't see him take it off, and you just, the next part of the scene, he's just in the Falcon without it on. So it is funny that they have him pictured inside of here with it on. I almost wish they included this backdrop as like a flat backdrop you could use. That would be really cool. But yeah, it was jogging my memory why they pictured him with this coat, because also in another scene, Lane, please close your Discord. It's so loud. It's probably in the system tray. But it's probably, or the other scene that I recalled was when Han is about to go out and find Luke, and he's wearing this jacket, but he also has the snow pants and the snow boots that we see in his like Hoth battle look. But obviously we knew it wasn't quite that Hoth Han battle look that we're talking about, because it doesn't have the insignia on his chest like of his rank. So we kind of had a general idea of what they were going for here, but I just couldn't recall. And like, it seems like Lane remembered, because he knew exactly what I was talking about. I couldn't recall, and I should. That's pretty bad for me, because it's like one of my favorite Star Wars films. But I couldn't recall when he had this jacket on with this look. But yeah, he's wearing it on the top of the Falcon. He repairs the Falcon for like 10 to 12 seconds, and then you see him inside, and he's got the jacket off. So, but I think all of us can agree. He said, sounds like I've never heard of a sound of tracking a mongoose, but. There you go, Lane. You're tracking a mongoose with the Discord ping sound. But I think arguably this is the most sought after Han Solo. Like the amount of comments that you see all the time prior to this being announced of where's Bespin Han? Where's Bespin Han? And you know, not that long ago we saw like the Bespin Escape Leia teased. I can't remember which figure that was with. You guys will have to remind me. But I think this is
Chewbacca.
By far. Oh, it was. You're right, Lane. It was the Chewbacca with the droid on the back. But now they're kind of really helping to build out that Bespin scene. We've got that Chewbacca coming out. We've got Lando Calrissian. And now we've got Bespin Han. And then, of course, you have Boba Fett. If you have the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett, or excuse me, Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett, you could use that. Or your Return of the Jedi one if you don't really care about it being 100% the same with the same color jetpack and everything. But this is really exciting. And, of course, the comment that we're seeing from a lot of people is like, why is this head sculpt so much better than the Return of the Jedi one? As somebody who has the Return of the Jedi one, I think I came to appreciate it especially a lot more when I saw it in person. Do I think this is the better of the two sculpts? Yes. I think, personally, I think this is the best of all of the Han sculpts. I think it's fantastic. It really is. It's spot on to Harrison at this time. And seeing this sculpt makes me really hope for an indie. All I see is like a little bit of extra 5 o'clock shadow added, and we could get an indie from the trilogy, the first three. So I would love to see that. I think it's very possible. And, you know, that older indie from Dial of Destiny, older literally being when Harrison is a bit older, obviously the most recent film, is fantastic. So if they could employ all of those techniques with the leather jacket and everything to a younger indie, I think a lot of us would absolutely lose our minds. So, yes. And I agree, Blue. I think he's awesome. And that duster look is my favorite with the Endor poncho. I just love that look. So that's more of a duster. The poncho is more what Luke and Leia have on. But that duster just looks friggin' amazing. And that's my favorite look for Han, believe it or not. So Bespin is probably a close second for me. But with that said, like with this one, there's no way I'm going to display him with the Hoth jacket. I think we can all agree we're probably going to get a Hoth Han and a Hoth Luke at some point, and maybe even some Tauntauns. I know I'd be game for that because that's just such an awesome, iconic, memorable scene. Maybe Luke will come with like a dismembered arm from the Wampa. Who knows? But yeah, really cool. And they could even do like a little diorama base with like the cut open belly of the Tauntaun. How cool would that be? I mean, I'm sure they would kind of underscale it a little bit like they do sometimes with that, but I think that would be pretty cool.
You're on that island alone, my man.
Maybe not alone. There could be some people in the chat that want the Tauntaun with the belly cut open. You never know, dude. Yes, it was a day one pre-order for me, so shocker, I did pick this one up. Even though I'm cutting down on a lot of the Marvel stuff, the Star Wars stuff is hard to say no to. Yes, General Lando would be sick. I totally agree. And yeah, Mitchell, I think even like, you know, I don't want to wish this on those that have the Hoth Leia, but maybe they'll do a Hoth Leia with rolling eyeballs. You never know. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's very possible. Very, very possible. 16 stars Pimpazoid. What's up, dude? 16 stars Pimpazoid says, what's up? Funny, when this Han Solo got announced, that Chewbacca was 3PO went waitlisted on Sideshow. Yeah, I imagine Lane, probably whatever was kind of lingering from what was left for that Chewbacca went bye-bye as soon as this was announced for good reason. And I noticed a lot of people were like, ISO Hoth Leia as soon as this was dropped. So that might bring some even more value to that Hoth Leia because now you have 3 options of figures you can put together. Although, again, I personally would use this, and a lot of people are going to use this for this particular look right here in this Bespin look with the blue. But man, Lane, we'll jump to you, dude. And by the way, Justin, shout out to my dude Justin from How You Figure. What's up, Justin? Hotline Hottie for 19 months. Great to see you, bro. Justin says, is this the Hottie convention I keep hearing about? It might be. It might be, dude. But you might be the ultimate hottie here. I don't know. Also, by the way, shout out to Justin. It's great to see that you were doing some 6-scale content again. I know you kind of are mixing it up nowadays, so it was great to see you doing some 6-scale stuff. Must-have pre-orders. I really enjoyed that video. I thought it was awesome. Yes, Blue, that would be sick. I'm all for that. And I know that one company did a Wampa that has done like a bunch of custom creatures from Star Wars. That'd be really cool. Looks like I got at least one other person on my team, Lane, for the open for the open belly tauntaun. Maybe you can even stick Luke in there. Who knows? What's up, Gabe? Gabe says, sup, everyone. What's up, my dude? Hotline Hottie, my dude Manny Fresh. What's up, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Lane, we'll jump to you, and then we'll jump to Chris. I feel like Chris hasn't had a chance to talk because he's just enjoying his ride home. But Lane, Bespin Han, and Lane, I want to ask you, like, in comparison to the Return of the Jedi Han, which one is more exciting to you of the two, as you share your thoughts on Han as a whole?
Well, I do think I'm not as in love with the head sculpt as this one as you are.
Really?
I don't like the hair. The hair coloring and stuff is off to me.
How do you feel about the likeness?
Styling. The likeness, I think, is good. Something about with the hair color, though, would distract me. But that first picture they have, I didn't think it helped. That the first one, like, I didn't think flattered the head sculpt and stuff. Like, that looks a little bit better. I do like the look here. I am not trying to get this one. I'm sticking with the Return of the Jedi Han, more than likely. I'm not going to say 100% there's 0 chance.
Yeah.
But I do like this one. I actually think that this one and the Return one are about on the same par right now, but this is just a prototype, not the final piece. So there might be some improvement because the Return Han head sculpt improved over the original and stuff with some of the hair sculpting in that.
Yeah, I think so.
But at worst, this is the second best Han. Like, that's a worst case scenario. I really like how the jacket to me looks kind of dope. I don't know. Just seeing it, I know they may have taken it from the scene, but without all the full, parka get up and everything from when he's riding the Tauntaun, like, that's more Commander Solo. I guess that could be his Commander Solo look and stuff.
Yeah.
Since that's his rank and stuff in the rebellion at that time. I do like just seeing him with the blue and the just the over jacket and stuff again. Like, I do think it looks really good. They do tease you a lot though with this, whatever this interior diorama of the Falcon cockpit and stuff is. Like, it's like almost a little painful when you look at that. You're like, is there a deluxe for like maybe $400 so we could buy that has some of that with it or something?
I know. I was so hoping for it. I knew it was unlikely, but when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, are they going to give that to us?" No.
I mean, just they'd sell it, even if they did it if they're going to do an exclusive thing instead of artisan hair, give us a deluxe one of these that comes with some kind of larger box and some kind of little diorama thing for the Falcon or something, or maybe a couple different things you can lay out. Like, could be a switch out entrance for like part of the Hoth base or something in the background or something like that. I bet you people.
Imagine if they made like an openable door and you could have Han like kind of pressing up on the door, reaching. It would have been so cool. And by the way, guys, real quick, I did put up a poll while Lane's sharing his thoughts. I did put up a poll: Return of the Jedi versus Bespin. I have a feeling Bespin's just going to blow Return of the Jedi out of the water because I know how much people love this look. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad, but the reason I'm looking at. For as much as I like this, I think Han Return of the Jedi with the big, with the big jacket and everything, I think it's actually a cooler look for him. Now, I will admit, I think that if we're talking about if it's just his bait, because obviously Han looks pretty much the same in all three movies. There's not like his look. He has a very defined look with his basic outfit without jacket or other stuff like that on it. This is a much better look. Like if you just have the return look with that, just him having that general aesthetic, and you have the Empire one. Empire looks better. Just the color combination, everything like that, it looks better. My only annoyance with this figure is that the holster looks like it's going to be the same crappy one that comes with Return of the Jedi with the pleather, and also it's too small for trying to actually stick on his blaster into the holster without causing damage to it.
Yeah, I was going to say there's been a couple where I was like, is this supposed to fit this blaster? Like it's like
because it doesn't look. Mine doesn't fit it.
I mean, I've had some where it felt like that, and I was able, like Mando. His is like more of a tighter holster. It's harder to get his pistol in, or his blaster in, but it does fit. But I agree, there are some where I'm like, damn.
Han's return, I don't think fits at all. Like without it possibly tearing apart.
I haven't tried with that one to be honest with you because I just straight.
Yeah, I just have him in the blast. I mean, having the blaster in his hand just seems just like a pose because he doesn't come with anything else really to stick him with really. I do like the gloves and everything on there, so it's going to make some variety to the hands for this figure. Now, I will say when you can see both, you definitely see why they made this one, though, because they were able to reuse a lot of stuff. Also, the boots are going to be pleather on this guy again.
They actually are not pleather, Lane.
They're not?
They are not, and I'll show you because you can't quite – I don't think you can quite tell in these photos, but I did mention earlier I had some photos from 1/6 lovers, and I'll pull them up here shortly. But they actually appear to be like a split cut plastic boot.
Oh, that's right. I remember seeing that.
Yeah, they do appear. And I will say this, and I know Chris.
Okay, if they're not pleather, I might pick up this figure because I hate pleather boots. You know how much I hate pleather.
They appear to be sculpted plastic, so that's a good thing. Flocked boots. I don't think they're flocked, but they are split.
But I might say I'm literally if you want to know how much I hate pleather boots. If those are not pleather boots, I might pick up this Han just because I don't want to have to deal with those.
You can actually kind of tell here, Lane. See it from the back. I will say, I think they did a pretty. I know Chris kind of said he thought it was a little obvious, and Chris and I have this theory that maybe on the final product they'll hit us with that new technology they've been using, where it's like fully seamless but still opposable material. So that's still very possible.
I'll just finish my thoughts here. The little extra accessories, I guess, are fine. They just seem like they're throwing in there to have them. But I can't think of anyone who would ever put on the goggles, which could damage, the face sculpt or, scratch the paint on the face sculpt or anything. The one thing I do like with this one better, much more than Return, is the base. I know the other one's a diorama, so technically it probably should be a little bit more interesting. Hey, Nightmare Cave, great to see you tonight.
What's up, Sean? Thanks for being here, dude. Great to see you. And Lane, this is funny because not only did you not notice, but 1/6 lovers, I'm sure he doesn't mind me saying this. When I had mentioned, I was like, "Oh shit, the boots aren't pleather." He's like, "Wait, I didn't even notice that." And he went to Secret Base and took photos of this thing. So it's like maybe that's a testament to the fact that they blended it pretty well. And also, obviously, we are just so used to Hot Toys, like you said, Lane, giving us pleather boots with everything. The original A New Hope pleather boots, they pissed me off so much because they just cave in the back, and I had to stick little pieces of cardboard down in the boots to get it to stay. Wasn't so bad on the Return of the Jedi Han, but I agree. I'm happy to see this. You'll hear Chris's thoughts on it, and I do kind of agree with him. I'm hoping that these kind of transition to be those seamless boots where they are posable like they did with Spider-Punk and some other recent figures. But yeah, it's great to see some non-pleather boots finally.
If that is true, then I might have to get this figure.
It changes things.
Honestly, yeah. You just know how much I hate pleather boots.
Trust me, I do too. And like I said, that A New Hope one pissed me off. It bothered me so much. I still have.
I would just throw out to chat. This is something I'm interested for your guys' perspective. So, would you be able to maybe pull in a little bit just on the base that comes with the Han here?
I don't know. That might have to be for the Secret Base photos. I don't know if there's a really good photo.
Okay, that's fine. But I'm interested. So, guys, one other thing I just would like to hear from you guys after we get some more thoughts, or just as we go on. So, How do you feel about this base? Because obviously, and I'm just speaking about the base here that come with either figure. So obviously, technically, you might consider, because it's a diorama base with some extra stuff, the Return of the Jedi base might be the quote better one of these two. But I would say actually like this one better for the fact that having had a couple other figures with these base, they make sure it kind of still fits, that it's inside the Hoth base and everything. And they even had some of the snow particles.
Yeah.
Whereas Return is like they recreate the forest stuff, so it is kind of more of a diorama, like small diorama base to it. It makes it posing them a lot more annoying. Versus where this kind of gives you a little bit the diorama feel of where they are. But you can put them however you want because it's all flat. I'm just interested for your guys thinking more specifically with the base for this figure, just from in general what you guys think about that.
Yeah, I mean, so my thought on it, and then we'll move on to Chris. But my thought on it, Lane, sometimes simple is better, and that's not to say that like some diorama bases I don't like. Like I think a great diorama base recently was the BVS Batman 2.0. Not overly large, modular. You can swap it around to either side of the wall, and it fits in a DTOF, and you could fit the feet on the base. Like, what bothers me the most is when a base has all this shit on it and it looks cool, but you can't actually put the figure's feet down anywhere comfortably. A figure that I love that I just recently got and is sitting on my desk right now, the Samurai Predator. I have both versions of it. That base is friggin' incredible, but is very difficult to get him to stand on the base because there's just so much shit going on. I've grown to despise certain Iron Man bases because of that. I think Iron Man is the most egregious one where they just put all this crap on the base and there's nowhere for the figure to stand. So it's like, you have him in a flight pose. Right, with the Ironmonger. You either have him in a flight pose or you don't have him on there at all, and I don't like that. And it's like I went from really liking it because it is cool. They all look cool, but you suffer from not being able to pose it how you want it. So I kind of like the simplicity of this base. Maybe they could have added some little snowy bits, like you mentioned with the Return of the Jedi. You get the little twigs and the rocks you can plug in. That would have been cool. They definitely could have done that, but what are you going to do? I do like the simplicity. I like the little bits of snow in there. I think that looks nice enough. And by the way, what's up, Kaiju and some other people that were hopping in? And yeah, sometimes we catch stuff, sometimes we don't. And I noticed that, and I was like, oh, shit, that's really exciting. Maybe because I was looking for it, Lane, because I was just so bothered by the pleather boots all the time. But great thoughts, Lane. We're going to move on to Chris, but really quick, I want to say what's up to OG. Thank you so much for being a channel member for 22 months, my friend. I really appreciate you. OG says, just when you get comfortable with Lane being legendary, he pulls a take like this on Han, SMH. Send me that Black Widow Arson Edition head sculpt ready, PayPal ready. What's up, Yomo? Yomo in the house, by the way. Lane, that's between you and OG. I don't want the smoke. Lane. By the way, what's up, Yomo? Another hotline hottie and moderator. And my dude, what's up, my friend? Yomo, thanks for being here. Thank you for being here as well. Another hotline hottie. Gio, what's up, Gio? Thanks for being here, bro. And almost missed him. Unfortunately, though Chris is here, he's in his car, so he won't be able to drop that big belt celebration on you. So I'll give you a big woo! Thank you for being here, my friend. As always, I appreciate you. And I hope you're doing well on this fine Tuesday evening. Dang, why am I didn't even get my, hold on, let me see if I can get a full screen of this tag, because I got all my crap showing at the bottom, and that bothers me. Is this it? Yes, there we go. You guys don't need to see my Steam and my File Explorer and everything. But, Chris, if you're here, and obviously you don't really have the photos to reference easily because you're driving right now. But, Chris, we kind of talked about Han earlier today. We did talk about the boots as well, and I will pull up those photos. By the way, once again, guys, big shout out to 1/6 Lovers, because 1/6 Lovers is the one who took these photos, and he shot them over to me because I'm always asking him to send them to me because if he doesn't send them to me, then I have to go on Instagram, and that makes it a whole nother bit of trouble because it's so small and everything. So big shout out to 1/6 Lovers. That is a great close-up shot there in the obviously poor secret base lighting, but Chris, what are your thoughts on this Han? I know you have the Return of the Jedi one, and obviously this sculpt, a lot of people seem to be praising this one much more than the Return of the Jedi one. I've seen quite a few people put their Return of the Jedis up for sale on Facebook, and of course that just opens up the trolls when a new figure gets announced. But also, Chris, the boots. We talked about the boots, you and I. They appear to be split cut, and I will show a closer up shot here shortly. But share your thoughts on that and kind of how you feel about that, because I know you have your own opinion on the split cut boots, but Yeah, Chris, what are your thoughts on this Han, and is this one going to make it into your collection over that Return of the Jedi version?
Yeah, so I got a completely different opinion than Lane. That was a pretty hot take, but I, as you know, collect Return of the Jedi Hot Toys. Um, this being Empire, I won't be getting it, but that goes without saying. I think it looks the best of all the head sculpts that Hot Toys has done for Han Solo. Like, it has that little, it's not an entire smirk, but that expression that's just very Harrison Ford-esque. And I'm jealous that they didn't replicate it for Return of the Jedi before this came out. I know a lot of people were waiting for this. I think it looks very good. And it's uncanny to Harrison Ford. Like, you can't mistake it for anybody else. You can't say it looks like a cosplayer. I think they did a great job, and hopefully the final product looks the same.
Yeah.
Um, the outfits are similar from A New Hope to Return of the Jedi. A New Hope has the blue pants. We know
I think we lost you.
pinstripe may be different
Oh, there we go.
between Empire and Return of the Jedi, but um, I just collect Return of the Jedi because it's my favorite of the original trilogy, and I
Yeah.
know people are excited for this. Uh, the boot situation.
Yeah, let me get a
We
close
talk,
up on those while you're sharing your thoughts. Let's see. Might be the best we have. I mean, that's pretty close. It's a little pixelated, but you guys can see. See if there's a better one. I feel like you sent me a better one.
yeah, somebody posted from one on the side as well. Like, I personally don't like the split cut stuff. I got into the hobby for a more realism like take on figures. I know as nitpicky as that is, but they've done full leather outfits. There's no reason why they can't do leather. And with the new tech they've been using of that pliable plastic, they could have done that as well. And we talked about maybe that'll change. I hope so. I like a more seamless look, especially considering these are high collectibles. Yes, somewhat still toys, but I think it brings that toy.
Hold on, we lost you for a sec, Chris. It like cut out. I heard toy, and then your voice went out.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah. It just went out for a second.
Yeah, that was crazy. Um, I think it brings more of a toyish look when you do split cut or you have joints that are visible. But that's just me. Like, I know people want to pose them and stuff too. They did fix for Return of the Jedi the sagging that the New Hope ones did. They were a
Yeah,
lot better boots than those. Um,
yeah.
so I have hopes that they'll do something. I just think it's very noticeable for the split cut on this, and maybe they didn't pose it right to hide it completely. They just threw it in there. That could be another thing, but I don't know. I think it's a great figure. I won't be picking it up. I'm happy they did it because I know a lot of people have been wanting it, and I'm also a bit jealous that that's a better head sculpt than what I'm gonna be getting.
Yeah, I think a lot of
Or
people
what I
probably share
got, I
that
should say.
sentiment. And like I said, we agree on the fact that the Return of the Jedi one is our favorite look. But I do agree. I think overall this is a better looking figure. I think also I want to commend this figure. I think the hands are properly in scale, which we don't always see as of late
Yep.
from Hot Toys. Sometimes the hands are overly large and stuff, but I think they're pretty in scale. I just saved a couple more pictures. I didn't see. I think maybe the picture that I saw from 1/6 Lovers that showed the boots a little bit better. I think maybe he didn't send it to me from the group of photos he sent me. Not I'm not calling you out 1/6 Lovers. I just don't see it. I just double checked, but I want to give a big shout out real quick before I forget. And Chris, did you have any more thoughts before I move on to some comments?
Um, Last thing I'll just say, I kind of like, even if I was getting both, I look at Return of the Jedi as the older film. So I think he looks a little older than Empire anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, not that much, but having two different expressions in the collection isn't a bad thing to me. Look at Anakin, for example. So, yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's a great looking figure. Chris, I'm going to mute you because obviously there's a little bit of... Oh, you got it. Cool. But yeah, I totally agree, Chris. It's a great looking figure. Obviously, there's a reason why a lot of people are putting their Return of the Jedis up for sale. That's because everybody wants to get the Bespin Han, it seems like. And we'll check the poll here in a second. Big shout out to Moose. Thank you so much, my friend. 22 months as a Hotline hottie. He says, thanks to Lane for Sideshow codes. Hot Toys Hotline watch Moose Stream YouTube channel. I'll definitely check it out. I think I've watched a few of your videos, but dude, I'm so behind on YouTube as a whole. It's hard enough to keep up with my own channel, but I definitely will make my way over to the channel and check out some of your stuff. Looks like oh, Chris is back in. Cool. But thanks for being here as always, Moose. And guys, if you haven't already, check out Moose's channel. He just recently started getting it going, and Moose has his own way of doing things, and we love him. And yeah, you just got to check him out to know how he does things. And I know he's been on a few streams and told some really awesome stories about how he collects and where he started collecting and where he is now. So Moose is one of those dudes. You got to check him out for sure. Tom says, I have about 100 Hot Toys. It's so hard to decide what to get nowadays with so many announcements. Yeah, I mean, and the hard thing is, you know, you have to decide sometimes quickly if it's like one of those limited, you know, 1,500 figures or whatever. And if it's a figure that or a character that you particularly care about, you kind of have to jump on it then and there. And then let's say you jump on this and then they do another character that you care about more, and you just spent that money for a figure that ships now or ships soon. It's a tough game to play. When it comes to pre-orders, if you are very selective, you just kind of have to wait around and see what happens. Don't pre-order day one, and that's probably the smartest way to go about things, to be honest with you. Johnny says, the sculpted hair is awesome, but I feel like the part should be more in the middle. It should. The hair is definitely not perfect. I've seen quite a few people comment on that, but with that being said, I still think the figure looks freaking awesome. Here's another shot of the hands and kind of the pose that haven't been shown, the belt grab and everything. Love that pose. But yeah, what a great looking figure, man. I'm really excited for this, and I'm so excited for those who have been waiting for this one forever. This is one that I didn't necessarily need to have, but I do, of course, want it because it's Han Solo. I did pre-order from John over at Off the Racks, so definitely picking this up for sure. What's up, Figure It Out? Thanks for being here, bro. I hope you're doing well on this fine Tuesday evening. Guys, 62 people watching. If you haven't already, consider dropping a like on the stream. I'd very much appreciate it, and subscribe to the channel. We got Funky Cold Santa in the house. What's up, dude? Funky Cold Santa says, I would love a Han and Chewie 2-pack. I personally don't want C-3PO in pieces at all. It's funny because I have all the I have all the C-3POs that Hot Toys has done thus far. But that is a look that I've wanted for quite some time because I love Empire Strikes Back and I love the Bespin sequence. So maybe I'm alone with that, but I am very, very excited for that figure. That is one that I've always wanted, and when Hot Toys announced that, I was beyond stoked. So, Big Dog Pound, 8 channel member for 8 months. Thank you, my friend. Big Dog Pound says, let's effing go. I love all of you guys like my brothers. Yes, sir. I just love how positive everybody is always in the chat. And you guys are the best. Even with a controversial topic, we don't see anybody like bickering and fighting for the most part. It's always very positive. So I appreciate all you guys. And we always appreciate you, Big Dog Pound, for always spreading the love, my friend. Kaiju says, Moose is a saint. He is sending me a free deluxe Wolverine. Lane needs to step up. You know, I got to defend my boy Lane because Lane is a giveaway machine and he has a heart of gold. And, you know, I don't know if Lane wants to talk about it right now, but Lane may or may not have something for you guys in the near future. I don't know. I mean, I'm just guessing. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I just could be talking out my ass. Who knows? Only Lane knows. Or maybe I know. I don't know. But no, I have to defend Lane. Lane is the giveaway machine. So if anything, Moose needs to step up to my boy Lane. Because Lane has given away a lot on this channel, especially recently, and he has made a lot of collectors happy. So shout out to Lane. I feel like we don't give Lane enough shout outs. Lane is an absolute sweetheart. Let's see. Adam says, also kudos to Hot Toys for including the Hoth jacket for those who have Kit Basher version like me and now can have Hoth Han. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it'd be nice to have all the parts, but I do agree with, and I saw a lot of comments in the chat of people saying that they're definitely going to do a Hoth Han now. I agree. I think it's inevitable at this point, right? Inevitable, I would say. But yeah, great looking figure, guys. I'm definitely excited to get this one. Looks like Valk is keeping his Return of the Jedi Han and getting ESB Han. Clone Trooper says, definitely nice to have different sculpts. Looking at you, Kenobi. Again, it sucks. We didn't get to talk about Kenobi, but cannot wait. Kaiju Daddy. We can't call Lane Santa Kramer anymore because it's a flashback to Sean just begging for the swoop bikes for years.
Never delivered them.
Dude, it's Sean's not here to spew it at him anymore. So Lane wants to retire the Santa Kramer name. He just wants to be known as Legendary Lane. We almost had Santa Kramer for years, and Sean just didn't get him over the cusp to get the swoop bike. So we are where we are, dude. Funky Cold Santa becoming a channel member. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Hotline Hotties. You are too kind. 66 people watching. Again, guys, execute order 66 on that like button. I would very much appreciate it. OG fan with the $2 super chat, showing some love to our boy Lane. He says Lane is legendary and very generous to the community. Yes, he is. And I feel like we don't tell Lane enough. And Lane does not need to be thanked. I know him. I know him too well. I know he doesn't need to be thanked, but he knows that I'm thankful for him. He knows that you guys are so appreciative of him. So got to bring it up when I can just to make Lane blush a little bit. Right, Lane? And there we go. Peyton's dropping the Santa emojis. But guys, we're going to move on. I do want to close the poll real quick. So get those poll votes in. No surprise. We have 38 votes, 39 votes. Can we get 40 before I close it? 41 votes. Okay. We're closing it. 3, 2, 1. Now 85% voted in favor of Bespin Han. Does not surprise me. Again, guys, small number, you know, in the grand scheme of all the Hot Toys collectors out there, but that just shows you 85% wanted the Bespin Han this whole time. And maybe some of you guys bought the Return of the Jedi because you didn't get the Bespin one, and I can't blame you for that. But here we are. We got our Return of the Jedi. We got our New Hope. We got 2 New Hope figures, actually, because we got the Stormtrooper Han from the trash compactor scene. And I love that figure. I do think this beats that sculpt, though. Finally, some figure has dethroned my favorite Han sculpt, which is the trash compactor Stormtrooper Han.
I need Gift Guard Lando and another Return of the Jedi Boba with the Sarlacc pit again.
I have both of those figures. So I had the Return of the Jedi Sarlacc pit in my collection for quite some time now, and then I didn't get the Sideshow Skiff Guard, and I thought about it. Well, the sculpt is really bad, but when you use the helmeted sculpt, it just looks like a skiff guard, and it looks great. And the materials are fairly decent. Like, I love that figure, and I picked it up for like $150 brand new from some comic shop. So
I thought that since Hot Toys did the ESB one with the cape and stuff, that they for sure would have started doing them, but that hasn't happened yet. But those are the only 2 I need really to complete the line, and Jabba. But
yeah, no, I'm like I said, I debated on it for a while, and then I saw the pricing, and I know it was sold out in a lot of places, so I grabbed it. One thing that I kind of have my eye on right now, I'm not going to pull the trigger right this minute, but I do want that Han and Carbonite from Sideshow. I know that's waitlisted again, but on the secondary market, that's never been. Yeah, it's never been that expensive. I love that you can display it flat too. Maybe now, because we have so many Bespin figures, I'll have Boba walking next to it, but maybe I'll just steal one of my other Empire Strike, because I have multiple Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett's. Maybe I'll steal one of those and have him walking next to him in that kind of hovering mode, because that just looks so cool. Yeah, Bouche Leia would be sick, and I know that was rumored quite a while ago, and I'm surprised they haven't done that yet. That's an easy Leia that they could do, so fingers crossed for that for sure. We did have a release this week. Not the most exciting release compared to the counterpart to this figure. Of course, I'm talking about Wolf, but we did have the Wolfpack Clone Trooper released. This one's pretty cool. We're not going to spend too much time on this one, but it is pretty cool because you do get multiple swap out helmets. So for those that army build troopers, I'm sure this one is an absolute dream because you have so many different parts that you can play with. I know a lot of people have spent a lot of money on customs of these. And either people spent a lot of money on I think there was a Sideshow Wolf years ago, or maybe they got a custom Wolf done with Hot Toys parts. So this is really cool. I love this photo because it shows you all the different configurations you could do with this figure. I grabbed 2 of these. I didn't feel the need to get 3 to get the phase 1 look, but I will be doing the latter of the 2 looks with my 2, and then of course I got 1 wolf. I don't need more than 1 wolf. The name troopers 1 is more than enough for me, but this looks really cool. I love this figure. Any clones are fair game for me. I know some people might be getting sick of clones. I know Sean is not. Yeah, for the Republic! Shout out to Sean. I know Sean was super stoked for this. I love clones, just like I love troopers. I know they're not for everybody. They're background characters for a lot of people, but that's what they're good for. But also some of these name clones, if you watch the Clone Wars, they are special to your heart because they are very important to the story in their own right. Especially my boy Fives. I cannot believe I finally have all the ARC Trooper boys in my collection. It just makes me so happy.
Yeah. They did a fantastic job with the paintwork and everything on this guy, I think, especially with the 3 distinctive helmets and stuff. Obviously, with the Phase 1 helmet, it doesn't quite jive completely with
not at all.
Armor and stuff.
Not at all.
But did this one finally actually include a hand that you can use for the Gatling gun? Like the 501st? Yeah, like the 501, since the 501st never did?
Nope. It actually looks like the exact same hand from the...
of course.
Yeah. I think we actually
Yeah,
probably
that's
acknowledged
crazy.
that.
I was just reposing that one the other day too, and I was like, still mad about.
Freaking looks stupid, dude.
The hand hold the handle too isn't like they don't have that one either.
Yeah, and it's so hard to like get. See, that is the stuff that pisses me off that Hot Toys does. I'm like, dude, how many clones?
They put all these other dumb motion hands or finger pointing. Like, don't give me stupid finger pointing. Yeah, okay. Give me that. I get it. Maybe a commander, like, that's one of Wolf or Cody's hands or something, because that makes sense. But for Joe Schmo Trooper here, give me rotary gun hand so that I can use all the weapons correctly.
Yeah.
Especially if you get multiple. That's just like.
Yeah, I agree.
Or don't give it, or don't put it in there because you can't use it. Like
every
not make it look
item
dumb.
Should have a corresponding hand that works with the items that you're putting in the box. That's just blanket statement for any figure. If you're putting something in the box, put a hand that freaking allows you to use it. And I agree, Eric. And also, I want 41st. Where's Commander Gree? Revenge of the Sith Anniversary. This is a perfect time to include or to do Commander Gree, so we can have Yoda chopping his head off, hitting a backflip on him. Like, but yeah, 212, the standard 212, and Bly would be sick. I mean, we got the airborne 212, so you're not going to give us the plain 212.
The limited one. You gave us a limited one, but not the general.
Granted, the airborne is the coolest looking one, but still, where's the grunts?
Yeah, it is kind of but that is sometimes how Hot Toys likes to do it, where they do the reverse order. What do you think?
Yeah, and I'm glad to see all the clone love, because the clones, dude, they just, when you watch the Clone Wars, you just see another side to them. They're not just clones. They all have their own personality, and they have their own problems, and they have their own allegiances.
And especially when you then see, like, if you can see the Bad Batch, where it's not the best Star Wars series, but you see what happens to the clones.
Oh, I loved it. I loved the Bad Batch.
But you see what happens with the clones and everything, because obviously in Revenge of the Sith, even, they are kind of presented in a bad light, and even in early Bad Batch episodes with kind of the Empire taking control, because they are kind of the fist of the Empire, basically crushing stuff, or even in Andor, you saw that. But it is just something where if you do actually watch Bad Batch and you see really how these guys have a super tragic fate, despite them, kind of murdering the Jedi, and everything. But I love this figure. I think it looks great. I had him on pre-order, but I had to cancel him to help free up some funds for another figure that is, well, this is cool. It's a more iconic one. I had to for my D800 clean figure.
Oh, I would do that any day of the week. But it's funny I say that. I just put up a poll, guys. I got to hear your guys' thoughts. To clone or not to clone?
That is the question.
Yeah, right. That is the question of the night. So if you guys are into buying clone figures, and if you're excited about, the continual releases of clones, I think Hot Toys has been very consistent with it, to be fair, which is awesome because we went from nothing to a lot. But I know it kind of goes into that conversation of like, oh, another Iron Man, another Anakin Skywalker, another clone. Like, it's one of those that gets brought up fairly often, which is understandable if you're on the outside of the Clone Wars show and you've just watched the movies. I get it.
Obviously, these must sell, maybe not in huge rows, but these must sell decently and sell be part of a product line for Hot Toys.
And they can reuse a lot of parts, to be fair.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
for
parts.
what the cost is to make them, they must still sell. Like, I can't imagine the 104th Wolfpack is like the biggest selling, even of the clone. Probably if they go back and you look at their sales records, it's not going to be the biggest.
I was going to say, Lane, if I had to argue, I'd probably say that maybe the 501st, like standard and deluxe, are probably the best selling clones I've ever done.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'd probably say so.
That's what I was going to say, but also, I don't know if I'd compare them to like the Iron Man release. Like, I know Iron Mans are different, but clones I think are even more, because like there's so much diversity with the fans where they like their favorite clones, they like their favorite battalion, you know, some like 212, some like 501st, some people just like individual, like they want to agree, or you know, Echo 5s, whatever, like somebody likes somebody more. So
yeah, it's unfortunate that people group them that way. I totally agree, and those of us who've watched the show, we know that they're all different. They have their own personalities.
Like I don't army build them, but I still, you know, I also think it's cool to have, if you have, you know, your Jedi, you put their battalion with them, you know, like having Obi in the 212th and Anakin in the 501st, Ahsoka, whoever. Like, I think that's cool.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of clones, fan. By the way, what's up, Game Shift? Ash Chase in the house. Ash says not to clone Deadpool the Wolverine all day. Fair. We also have, I saw another comment. Let's see. There's a lot of comments. A lot of people, and I totally agree. We need a Phase 2 Fox to go with the frickin' Phase 2 Coruscant guards. Still so pissed about that. And of course, I bought the Phase 1 Fox because I just wanted a Fox, but we need the Phase 2 Fox, man. Hot Toys is playing games with that. Clone Trooper said, I love clones. Big surprise, but I'm not doing Hot Toys clones anymore. I'm making my own customs. Yeah, I know there's a lot of inaccuracies when it comes to clones. That's just, you know, we all hyper-focus on certain things when it comes to accuracy. Clones is not one of those things for me, or I should say are not one of those things for me. So I've been pretty happy, albeit, you know, with some issues and concerns with a few things. But yeah, I know a lot of people who are like, that's their bread and butter is clone troopers. Like Sean, for example, has had a lot of customs done and done a lot of modifications himself as well. Bolts agrees. Ditto on Phase 2 Fox. 16 Lover saying the same thing. Phase 2 Fox and Thrawn. Thrawn would be sick as well. Howard Chan, he must understand clone life, and he must understand that money that he's getting too, for sure. Beskar says, clones, Iron Man. This day, for me, I agree. I've moved on from a lot of Iron Man and / Marvel stuff, so yeah, I'd probably say the same thing. Now, if they do a new Mark 7, another diecast Mark 7, I'd probably go for that for sure, but dang, Bolts, that's awesome, dude. 70 plus and counting. I probably, if I have one at least of every single clone ever announced and released from Hot Toys. That includes the Commandos and everything, too. Which I'm hoping they finish those Republic Commandos. We need the last 2 of those. That pisses me off that they haven't finished that. Dude, don't even get me started. I would freaking love some Tartakovsky clones. Fordo would be obviously top of the list, but I want some Tartakovsky stuff in general. That would be sick. I would be all for that. Yeah, figure it out. You know, it's funny. I tend to lean more towards the Stormtrooper designs, if I'm being honest. And that's not to say that I don't love the clones, but like I love my Stormtroopers, man. I love them. Death Trooper, that Zombie Trooper, very underrated limited release figure, but I love that figure. Snow Troopers, my favorite trooper design of all time. My second favorite, the A New Hope clean standard Stormtrooper. I love the wide bucket. I do love my Stormtroopers, that's for sure.
I gotta be biased. I think I'm like in the prequel, like. And it's not just look, but I think action-wise, too. I like what they do versus in the original trilogy. I mean, they worked with what they could, and I know there's CGI.
The clones are way more badass than the Stormtroopers, and they can actually hit a shot, you know? So let's be real. Like, clones against Stormtroopers, clones will mop the floor with them. Let's be realistic here. Maybe if you had, like, an army of Death Troopers, you'd be talking a more fair fight, but still, I'd give it to the clones any day. But Stormtrooper Gary, that'd be hilarious. Where's my radar technician Kylo, dude? That's what I'm.
Dude, I'm not even kidding. I'd take that.
Yeah, me too. Honestly, Game Shift, I haven't checked. I mean, I highly doubt it sells for much, but the detail on that figure is beautiful, and I've got his kind of feet like crossed like this, walking like a zombie, and it's actually very stable. The details on those particular figures, like the Night Troopers and everything, are really, really nice. Yes, dude. The most recent Purge Trooper obviously is the one we've wanted forever. We wanted the one with the airborne helmet. It was a shame they didn't give him the shock baton, but I'm gonna take the one from Grievous and give it to mine. So my dream will be fulfilled of having the Purge Trooper with the baton. Yeah, best card's going with the clones. I'm sure, I'm probably in the minority on that one where I just favor the Stormtrooper designs, but it's because I just love Darth Vader. I want whoever's on Darth Vader's side. I know the clones kind of were at the beginning, but they were kind of on their way out, right? They're being phased out. So the Stormtroopers have my heart. That's why I'm very excited for that Hono Star Wars Rebels Stormtrooper. I should say the couple Stormtroopers they're doing and that Vader. Don't think I forgot about those guys. I'm very, very excited for those. Very excited. Yeah, and that's like one of the most iconic, memorable scenes of all of Star Wars. That scene, like, for sure.
I was gonna say, I got a question. Are you taking Vader marching up the temple with the 501st, or Vader entering the Tantive?
I would probably go with the Jedi Temple March. That's like one of my other favorite scenes, but it's also like it's Revenge of the Sith, which has a special place in my heart. Now, if you ask me, like, obviously there's completely different scenes, but are you taking
Rogue
Vader?
One and a Rogue One, maybe? Is that where you're going?
Well, that, or I'm just saying like a completely different scene. If you're talking about just iconic scenes like Luke talking to Vader on the dish and telling him that he's his father for the first time, like I'd probably pick that over the Jedi Temple March. But if we're talking about like the two that you brought up, I would go with the Jedi Temple March for sure. I mean, that's just like one of my favorite scenes.
I'm gonna have to go with Vader first appearing, because that's like the first time you ever see maybe one of them.
That's fair. I mean, that's a tough decision. It's a tough decision.
But I think with music and everything, but we also have to. I think the thing is though, we have to temper with why the temple scene is so cool, is because we know what he becomes, and we know this is like the moment where he becomes that guy that we saw in the first movie,
killing younglings.
Yeah. So I think it's a little hard with that, because it's because of, from like that first appearance, what he becomes, that has that march up to the thing kind of have the meaning that does too. Because that's where he becomes the murderer, even though he's not literally more machine than man yet. But you got to give it John Williams. I think it's really the background music that, if that music did not come out as good as it does for the build-up and everything, because unfortunately we never got to see Anakin do too much, other than the march up where he's carving Jedi into little pieces and stuff. We didn't get we got to see more of that in the Obi-Wan Kenobi Disney Plus series.
Yeah.
Him like murdering Jedi people than we actually got to see in the movie itself, which is maybe one of the only negatives I would ever say from that is, yeah, we got to see him slice and dice the Separatists, but that was him finally murdering a guy who tried to kill his wife, and stuff. So we knew he was going to murder that guy.
Side note, Lane, really quick. Breaking news. I just got some pictures from 1/6 Lovers. He did send them like 20 minutes ago, but I'm just now seeing them of the boots. Yes, I got some really nice pictures.
Let's see the boots.
So let me. Sorry to cut you off, but I know we kind of wanted to see that together just to see what that looks like. So here we go. Let's see if I can get to the boots here. Sorry guys, we're going back to Han, but we just have to. We're the freak of those pictures. Oh, there they are. So as you can see. You could see, and obviously there's no way that the boots, if they're pleather, they just naturally look like this. It's obviously sculpted, but you can see, if you look closely, which I think is pretty well hidden, you could see that gap there.
I love these. I love these boots. I love this figure already.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
25% more than the other one is that I'm seeing sculpted boots here. Like that. Yeah. That is the big thing for me with these figures now.
Yeah, and like I said, I agree with Chris. I am hoping that they go back and maybe give us like fully seamless boots. That would be like obviously best case scenario, but I will take this. I do like split cut boots if they're not super obvious, but yeah. Chris, did you have, by the way, I know we kind of shared our thoughts pretty thoroughly on the Trooper, but Chris, did you have any thoughts before we move on from the Trooper? I should say the Troopers, because you have multiple options here.
No, not really. It wasn't one that I was
Dude, look at the
thinking of.
hand.
So
Yeah. Yeah, I figured it wasn't. I mean, this is something that a lot of people are probably going to pass on just for space and money reasons. Boots from that's funny. Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully they continue this trend. It's not just like I was telling 1/6 lovers. Hopefully this is not like a, hey, surprise everybody. You know what I mean? Like we're going to do this every once in a while. I need Hot Toys to be more consistent with stuff like that. That is their biggest problem with using better materials is the lack of consistency. Perfect example, Anakin Skywalker. They've done how many now and have never improved the pleather or anything. We need to see more of that. Love to see that. Some announcements, guys, that are very exciting, at least probably for a lot of us. Kaustic Plastik is about to be fully set up at an event. I can't recall where it is. It's somewhere overseas, not near here. Luca Comic and Games. So I think that's French Kiss. I don't know if that means it's in France. Sorry for my ignorance. I don't know where it is. But we have some awesome announcements. The full reveal for the Eric Draven from Kaustic Plastik will be on the 31st, I believe is what they said. And they said expect the pre-orders in November. So we have official confirmation. I know previously Fabio had said on streams that they're shooting for at least one figure to be revealed and go up for pre-order for Halloween. It looks like we're getting two. So this one will be going up for pre-order. The full reveal will be on the 31st. So all of the accessories, the displays, everything, just like Hot Toys does when they drop their announcements. This looks incredible. This is like one of the best looking 6-scale figures for me in quite some time. And that's from somebody that collects a lot of in art. And I think their stuff looks great. And I know Hot Toys has been doing a lot of great stuff recently. But if you guys know me, I love this freaking film. And this is like a perfect head sculpt. It already looked great. They were like, hey, by the way, this is not the official version. This is being revised. When I think it was New York Comic-Con or San Diego Comic-Con, actually, they showed it off. This looks fantastic. The hair rooting looks fantastic. And we don't have anything like, wool rooted from them. This is new to their like Maestro line. So obviously we got to wait and see what they do in production, but Kaustic stuff is freaking incredible. And I just cannot wait to see what they do with Conan and Jareth and Eric Draven here. This is like very high up on my, okay. So it is Lydia. It's weird that it says French Kiss. I was about to say Italy because it said Luca Comic, and but I digress. Thank you, Tim, for correcting me on that. But this looks freaking fantastic. The proportions look fantastic. Just everything what we're seeing here, this little glimpse looks fantastic. And Tim, I wonder, this has got to be the broken window diorama that we're seeing here, right? You could see the pieces of the broken window. That's got to be that diorama piece that we're getting, right? I feel like it has to be, right? But man, freaking awesome. I'm going the wrong way. Also going to be revealed on the 31st and then go up for pre-order in November is the Reanimator set. You have Dr. Herbert West and Dr. Carl Hill. I think both of these head sculpts are very good. This is a series of films that I really like, and I'm excited to see this. I love that he has the Reanimator serum syringe and everything, and also Carl Hill comes with a decapitated head, where his body in the one scene he just has like the anatomy skeleton on his head with the mask over it. There's going to be some really cool stuff with this. I can't wait for the full reveal on this one as well. I don't know how many of you guys are fans of this film. I don't know if this is going to sell well for them. I really don't know because it's a very unique license. But this is one that's been on my list since they showed it. So I'm very excited to check this out because these are very, very unique. And it's a very unique license. And I think they did a quarter scale of Herbert West. And that looked really good as well. So very exciting. I'm curious to see how many people end up picking this one up. Some shots of their booth, which looks like it's like in an entire little building, which is crazy. And I wanted to show this, and I hope Chris is still here to see this, but there's Jareth, King Jareth, on that massive diorama display base. And from what we could see here, I think this is Dario here, kind of futzing with the hair and stuff. It's pretty cool to see him messing around with it because, he does a lot of the sculpting and everything, but...
Like the base.
Yeah, that base is freaking nuts, dude. I mean, Kaustic, I just got done saying I'm not a fan of certain diorama bases. The way Kaustic does it is different. There's always a place for the figures to stand. There's never a bunch of junk where you can't get the figure to stand, and it always tells a story. And I know Eric Draven, they're doing, I think, at least 2 diorama bases. I know they kind of mentioned potentially 3 before, but I think it's going to be 2. But, dude, this is going to be sick. It's going to be really sick. I cannot wait. There's him. Look at that. Look at the size of that freaking base, dude. It's huge. And seeing this is crazy because I remember Fabio said the biggest diorama display base they've ever done with all the pieces included is that deluxe Frankenstein. So if this is not the biggest thing they've ever done, it's going to be crazy to see because, you know, that Frankenstein, it kind of goes deep because you got to put the extra pieces behind it. But man,
It looks like the end scene with the stairs going down and upwards, and
that's what I was thinking.
That's so dope.
Is really dope, and it's cool to see Dario there messing with it because he's like the sculptor and he did all the hair on the prototype and everything. Tim
Is
says,
that going up November? Sorry to.
I don't believe so. I don't believe so. I mean, you know, Tim, maybe you can correct me, but I don't think he said this was going up. I think it was just the 2-pack and the single, whatever they do, SKUs for Reanimator and then the Crow. But Tim says it has to be, I think Fabio said that this diorama piece and the Jareth diorama pieces are going to be next. Okay, gotcha. Yep, he's the master painter for Kaustic Plastik. This is going to be their biggest diorama piece. So this is going to be even bigger than the Frankenstein diorama then, because I remember he recently said that was the biggest. That's crazy. I mean, and you know, Tim, you and I could say firsthand how beautiful their dioramas are. Especially, I love the Nosferatu diorama that they did for the web exclusive version. That's like my favorite diorama in all of my collection, with the door that opens, like magnetic base built into the polystone that they use. The door hinges are very sturdy and the door can swing open. Just friggin' beautiful. They actually do plan on it. I know Fabio said that they plan on doing some of the goblins as well, so it's not just going to be a one and done. They're gonna potentially do a decent amount of stuff from it, so that's very exciting. Yeah, for sure. I mean, no one's going to do diorama display bases like this. I don't think anyone in the game right now is doing display bases that tell such a story like these. So you got to give it credit to them. They do some amazing, amazing work, and I've been collecting their figures for years, and their stuff is just its own, you know, in its own lane, which is what I love about them. Are you? I know, Chris. Obviously, you're going to be going for Jareth 100%. That's 100% on your radar. But are either you guys getting like the Crow? I'm sure neither one of you are getting the Reanimator stuff. I'm probably one of not many people in this chat that are getting those. Real quick, let me close this poll before I forget. 62% said to clone. 38% said not to clone. So, you know, kind of somewhat split, but most people are into the clones, which is pretty cool to see. You know, Fig Poser, it's crazy because he's making a lot of stuff that I'm interested in, and I know you're kind of iffy on like the 80s and the older stuff, so I get it. But let him cook. That's all I'm gonna say. Let him cook. I know Fabio's got a lot of unique licenses in mind, but you also have to consider like a lot of the stuff he's doing is stuff that he was fans of and has been a fan of for a long time. So you're going to see a lot of that older, like classic horror, like we're seeing. You know, we got the Bride of Frankenstein coming out here in the next year for pre-order. We've got the Mummy.
I'm so excited for Bloodsport.
Yeah. Yeah, Bloodsport. You know, we've got confirmed that Chong Li is happening, which is really awesome. He worked out the licensing for that, and you know, we got Frank Dukes on pre-order, another very, very exciting figure. Blue Tattoo said, dope. Thanks, Connor. Has anyone asked him? Yes, he did say Sarah was a potential. I remember him saying that, I think, in the most recent stream we did with 6 Scale Mafia. Shout out to Mafia. He did say Sarah was a possibility, so that would be really
She's
cool.
one of my favorite actresses, too. I love. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, he is literally doing stuff, and the Crow. I know we have 2 other previous iterations of the Crow, but nothing like this. And that's one of my favorite movies of all time. And, you know, my Sideshow one, when I even got a glimpse that they got the license from Kaustic, I was like, see ya, peace, put that sucker up for sale. But yeah, guys, also, if you haven't already, consider hitting that join button, become a Hotline Hottie. Again, another reminder, guys, the t-shirt of the month, the very first Hot Toys Hotline merch ever, will be done after this month. If Big Dog Pound, since you're the one that dropped the link originally, if you want to put the link in the chat, guys, once it's October 31st, once we get hit November 1st, that shirt is done forever. I promise you. I'm not going to pull a Hot Toys. There won't be a 2.0 of that shirt or anything, or a reissue. That is it. So anyone that has those original shirts, and if you're like down the road, you're like, oh, that's really cool, you ain't going to get it because it's gone. I know not many people are collecting Hot Toys Hotline merch nowadays, but some people might. Do we know why Sideshow only carries most of the previous Caustic figs but no Frankenstein? There was an issue with licensing for that one because Sideshow got the licensing for a lot of the Universal Horror stuff. I'm sure you guys saw they just announced some premium formats, I believe they were. I'm sure Sideshow will be doing 6-scale stuff. It was a big thing that caused some roadblocks for Fabio and the team, unfortunately. In a perfect world, I would want Fabio to take on all of these classic monsters, but it seems like Sideshow kind of blocked him off from some stuff, unfortunately. You got to remember, Sideshow is a massive company, and when they're presenting to try to get a license, I mean, they've got a lot more pull than a smaller company like Kaustic, as unfortunate as it is, because Kaustic makes way better figures than Sideshow. That's just how it is. And that's not a dig at Sideshow. I love a lot of the recent Sideshow stuff, but Fabio, like I said, he's in his own lane. You can't compare him to, maybe it'll be easier to compare him with the rooted hair and stuff to InArt and Hot Toys, but he's always been in his own lane. So yeah, it's unfortunate. Yes, Dark Crystal. With Dark Crystal, didn't he say as of right now it's not 1/6 scale figures? He said it. I can't remember what pieces he said in particular he was doing. The Exorcist, I know he's doing the Priest, Father Merrin, and he's also doing Reagan with the bed and everything. That's going to be an insane set, a freaking insane set. Like, just to think about it, there's not that many Exorcist collectibles out there, and the fact that he's just going so hard on it is freaking nuts. And yes, dude, absolutely. I know Chris is. I know I am. Like, I've been waiting for even a David Bowie figure, officially licensed David Bowie figure, forever. And this is like the best of both worlds. I get a David Bowie figure, but I also get really what I would prefer, which is a King Jareth figure. Like, it kind of ticks both boxes, right? What's up, Owen? Great to see you, bro. I haven't heard from you in a bit. I hope you're doing well. I see your posts on Facebook all the time, of course. Owen says, "Hey Connor, hyped for the Crow dioramas they do are mind-blowing." They really are. I mean, and I can attest to that because I own many of their figures. Yeah, again, my favorite diorama from them is easily the web exclusive Nosferatu, but I have multiple coffins from them because I've got Bela Lugosi as Dracula, I've got Christopher Lee as Dracula, and Peter Cushing as Van Helsing. They come with a coffin. Nosferatu comes with a coffin, especially, if you guys have seen the original Nosferatu film that's over 100 years old, 1922, I think that film came out. In the scene, you could especially see it when he's in the boat and he's being transferred in his coffin in the bowels of the boat, and you see him kind of raise out of the coffin, and there's all the rats and everything. It comes with that and some rats as well. It's so freaking cool. I love that figure so much. I love it so much. And there's a reason it sells for a crap ton of money, because that's the thing with Kaustic. You can always, for the most part, get your money back and then some. A lot of their stuff is worth a ton of money. So not trying to pitch a figure as an investment, but everything from Kaustic just sells. It does. It just sells for a fair bit of money, and it's crazy. It's because they don't make a lot of stuff. And I have another figure, a Bambino, in my collection that it took me forever to find, and that figure is worth a crap ton of money. So when you buy a Kaustic figure, it's not going to depreciate in value. I can confidently say that. Yeah, I agree, Fig. I don't think they will, which is funny because he's got like kind of an even better relationship with Sideshow more than ever right now. He's going to their facilities and kind of showing off his upcoming figures and stuff. But yeah, it was a shame to see them get blocked out, because I was hoping. And again, Fabio had even said like about the Creature from the Black Lagoon. He's like, I don't need to do one now because that one's so good. And you love to see that. Fabio, he's one of those guys. He doesn't seem like he's worried about what other people are doing. He's worried about himself and what he's capable of. And I love that about him. And yeah, just an all around great company to deal with. But guys, we're going to end out the stream on one final little discussion topic. It's going to be very quick. What is your most exciting pre-order releasing soon-ish? So maybe like a figure that should be releasing by the end of this year, or maybe early like Q1 2026. That's a hard one, right? Because there's a lot of stuff on pre-order, and I have so many figures that I'm excited for. I could name a few right now. Batman Returns, 92 Batman Returns. That Batman, I never had a Batman Returns figure in my collection, so very excited to get that. One that I've been just overjoyed about, and I cannot get it out of my brain, is the Arnold Schwarzenegger Mr. Freeze. That's another one. I've been waiting forever for that, and finally we got it announced from Hot Toys, and it still kind of feels weird to think about it. And guys, this is the question.
And you're getting 3 of the figures from that movie, of all things.
Yes, yeah, the fact that we got the whole crew, I cannot believe Hot Toys finally did it. But
I
didn't expect it. I didn't expect it.
It is kind of funny they did 3, but didn't do like Poison Ivy or Bane or something from that.
Yeah.
That's kind of the only thing that makes me. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I mean, it's Arnold, and I just the worst Batman.
Not he's actually George Clooney probably is my least favorite Batman, but to complete my live action Batman.
But I don't blame him
collection,
because I just know it was the movie that he was in. Because obviously George Clooney is one of the best actors of his entire era.
Yeah, another one, Alien Romulus. We got the Skort Xenomorph. I can go on and on, but I got to limit my list. But we're just kind of having fun here. But Skort Xenomorph, Rain from Alien Romulus. There's just a lot. I mean, those should be coming out relatively soon. General Grievous actually got shipping, hopefully shipping soon from Sideshow. They did charge me, so it should be by the end of this week, I would imagine. I'll get it. Yes, Inart Legolas, great one, Blinken. I heard that one is very solid in hand, and I've seen some really good pictures of it. I'm not a big Lord of the Rings guy just because I haven't watched it. I don't dislike it. I just haven't had the chance to watch it yet. I haven't given myself the time to just sit down.
A lot of people are still waiting. Probably Artisan Black Widow.
Artisan Black Widow, yeah, that one should be shipping for a lot of people now. Hasn't happened for me yet, unfortunately.
No.
Big Dog Pound says Black Widow, Grievous, Chewie, and Wolverine. Great list. Which Vader, Chris? The
Revenge of the Sith table one. That
dude, you're
says
cheating.
December 25.
That's until next year.
They got to adjust that, dude. There's no way. But I guess you can count that since they
says July to December, bro. 2025.
There's no way. Yeah, I don't.
Hey, if it happens, it happens. Yeah.
I will allow it because you're right. If they are claiming that, then that's on them. But I highly doubt that's coming. But
yeah, considering the regular edition is April to September of 2026.
They're full of it.
Yeah, so I'd probably say for myself, because even though if it's been released but still waiting for it to get it, the T800's clean.
Yeah,
because we're still waiting for Sideshow to get that.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm guessing I guess probably we should be getting soon the Harley Black and Red Artisan.
Oh yeah, that one's due.
That one's supposed
to be
the
DeLorean too. 2020 December.
The Blitzway
it's supposed
DeLorean.
to be by December. Yeah, if you're getting from US retailer, good luck.
I got mine directly from Blitzway. Actually.
Yeah,
Blitzway USA, but that's gonna suck ass if that hits like right around Christmas time. That's gonna stink.
Can you imagine if it's directly like the tariff could be on that?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work because they're going to be importing them to Blitzway USA. I don't know if that's going to help a little bit with the tariff.
I have actually been considering getting that Blitzway DeLorean.
Oh, that was so easy for me because I sold my Hot Toys one for. I sold both of my Hot Toys.
So did I. Well, I just sold my Hot Toys one.
Yeah, that Barbossa, dude. Owen, I just brought that up the other day, and Wonk, obviously, Chris and I are excited for that one. That was a wedding gift to Chris 3 years ago. So, that Barbossa, dude, freaking incredible. And I also cannot wait because they tease that they're working on Captain Salazar, and that's going to be their next figure. And that is one that I never.
He's going to be a tough figure to do. Salazar, just because of the special effects. He was basically one giant walk.
And the floating flesh.
Yeah, I mean, he was one walking special effect. I mean, you know that it was Javier Bardem was running around, doing the motion, but he was a ghost, and he wasn't like when Barbossa was like a skeleton or something, because it was Jeffrey Rush was actually there, just CGI'd when he would be a skeleton. But
I love the CGI special effects in Pirates films. Yes, Tim. Guys, for those of you who don't know, London After Midnight it's Lon Chaney, the OG Lon Chaney Sr. It's a lost film. There is no available version of that film that can be watched today. There is I think it's 45 minutes of stills that are kind of put almost into place of a film, but there's no it's a lost film, so there's no full film of it at all. And the fact that Kaustic made a figure from that just shows you they do the craziest licenses ever, and that's one that I picked up as well, Tim. And I know some people had some thoughts about the blood on his mouth because I know it's based on an artist rendition, but I think it looks freaking awesome. And the grandfather clock it comes with, and it comes with a pack of webs to simulate the spider webs on it. Beautiful piece. I cannot wait for that as well. That's a great thought. Are the Blitzway Ghostbusters due that soon? I don't. You guys gotta tell me. I see multiple people saying Blitzway Ghostbusters. I did pre-order the 4-pack. I told you guys before I got very lucky with that. I didn't know they were due so soon. If they are, you guys have to let me know. That's pretty awesome.
Ooh, you're about to get run over then. As you were saying, it could be a very bad December.
Yeah. Chris actually has to go. We're about
Yeah.
to end out here, so I'll read a couple more comments and then we'll end out. But Chris, thank you so much for being here. I know you got to get inside because you're on your way home, but take care, dude.
Yeah,
Appreciate you.
You guys too. Thanks, chat. Hit the like button if you have not already, and don't forget to subscribe.
Yes, sir. And check out Collecting Madness as well. And now that Chris is leaving, I completely forgot to read my friend, who's also his brother's comment. So for those of you guys that got the Topo Studios set, the one thing that we noticed they were kind of hoping for with that they didn't do, that I did mention to them before they were actually put into production, released, is adding wiring to the tabards. So it looks like Kevin managed to do that. So of course I'll be talking with Kevin after this because I want to do the same to my own.
Let's go. Video coming on that, bro.
It looks like Kevin managed to get the wiring in there. I'm curious to see how he did it because we kind of had our thoughts on potential options for it. So that's awesome because that's something that is definitely missing. Dude, I know, man. And I was kind of giving Chris crap for it because he's a big Pirates and Disney fan as well. And he's passing on that Barbosa. And I'm like, dude, like, I don't know how you're doing that. It just looks so freaking good. It's like in art level quality and then some with like the rooted beard, rooted hair, the freaking paint apps and the apple, the monkey. I had the SW Toys Barbosa and I sold it when this one was announced. That one looked fairly decent for the price. This one looks freaking incredible. And a lot of those shots that we saw not long ago were production pieces, like production heads. And that was a production sample that was in that video. So I know you could speculate that it's not going to be as good, but that's a production sample. So I think it's going to be very close to what we saw there. So I'm really excited for that as well. And yeah, guys, happy Halloween. Fuck, man. Lane, we should have worn a costume. I didn't even think of that. Well, whatever. This should have been our Halloween episode. I didn't even think of it. Because Halloween is what?
This is I'm a collector, man. I collect stuff. There you go. Boom.
I'm cosplaying as Hot Toys Hotline. We should have done a
Yeah,
Halloween
I know.
episode.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I look at myself right now and I go, that guy looks like a legend.
Damn. Yeah, legendary Lane Kramer. So Lane, you might not hear from me for a while. I might be screwed. The bank might arrest me for the Ghostbusters 4-pack and the
DeLorean.
Yeah. Let's just hope they're delayed, right, guys?
Yeah. Or one of them. No, not both. One gets delayed. So that way you get one.
To be fair, they probably will, especially when it gets so close to Chinese New Year like that. They'll release like a select amount of units to like local customers, and then the US will get them a little bit later. So fingers crossed. Clinton Martin says excited for Chewbacca. Yeah, that should be soon as well. I completely forgot about that. The one we were just talking about earlier.
I would just tell you with Blitzway, be prepared that there could be some delays because like their statues and stuff, Blitzway is very heavily delayed on several statues. They haven't talked. This has been in the statue community. So a couple ones.
Your music to my ears, Lane. I don't need those.
That have been some are like 2 years old now that they haven't said anything about if they're coming. So
yeah,
just don't get yourself too like hyped in. Possibly 100%. Now, do I expect something like the figures probably to come? If not right then, probably shortly. Maybe the first quarter of 2020. Where they start getting them out to people because they might do them in batches.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to start going like a little bit, but there have been some issues with their statues. Not even with Prime One, but some of their statue production of their own ones like Scarface and stuff.
Yeah.
So
fingers crossed.
Get your fingers crossed that they get delayed 3 months for to make that sacrifice for the Hot Toys Hotline. Oh, hotties. So that his wallet doesn't.
Everybody write into Blitzway and say like, we really need you to take your time on these pieces.
Just take an extra quarter. Just put out whatever one is more likely almost done. Put that one out and just let the other one come out like a quarter later, 3 months later. But just make sure you charge us the same shipping and get it to us as quickly as possible. If you can do that Blitzway, we would really, really appreciate it.
Yep, took the words out of my mouth. And Blue Tattoo, I agree. I would love to see that as well. So fingers crossed they continue to do it. I hope those figures do well for them. I think that Barbosa probably did pretty well. But yeah, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Guys, happy Halloween to everybody. Like I said, we completely missed out not wearing costumes. I had it in my head, but that's okay. I appreciate each and every one of you, whether you donated, commented, or just hung out with us. On your way out, consider dropping a like button, dropping a like on the like button. And let me do one thing real quick, guys. On the way out, for those who are still hanging out, let's do this on the way out. And this is Happy Halloween. Instead of giving out candy, I'll give out 5 Hot Toys Hotline memberships. There's your candy, guys.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
So we have Venom Collector, Payton 23, Papa Trip, Noble Ninja, and Beskar Kid. Love to see some new names getting some prizes here.
Well,
that's all the candy I got, folks. I wish I had some real candy for you, but that just becomes a whole nother difficulty.
That's better than like when I tried to do and like it gave it to me. So I gave it to myself, right. And I was like, oh, that doesn't help at all.
It be like that sometimes. But yeah, happy Halloween, everybody. Thanks for being here. Appreciate each and every one of you. As always, if I missed some of your comments, I apologize. Sometimes there's just a million things going on.
And just to match, not matching you exactly, but also to contribute, let's give one more. So
there we go. Who is the lucky one?
Earth 616. Congrats.
Love it. Love it. Love to see it. Well, thank you, Lane. Guys, thank you, everybody, for being here. Happy Halloween. That is our candy to you from Lane and I, and from Chris as well. If Chris was here, he'd be part of it. But appreciate you guys. Enjoy your Halloween. Get plenty of candy. And if you're getting anything cool this week, why don't you head on over to the Hot Toys Hotline Facebook group. Now is the best time to join because now I'm back on Facebook after my suspension for literally no reason. So let's celebrate. Join that group, guys. Come hang out.
As we're going out, do you have any videos or other stuff that you know you have in the pipeline? Maybe not right away, but in maybe the next 2 or 3 weeks? Even if you don't want to name exactly.
No, probably, Lane. I have so many reviews that I have to do because I've taken a hiatus from reviews because of everything that's been going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do have some reviews planned, and I have that video of the RJ Recruity from Mondo. And again, guys, another reminder, if anybody is curious about how I did the modifications and body swap on this guy.
It looks great.
Hit me up. I appreciate it, Lane. Way better. It is a very difficult body swap to do. So if you are a maybe somewhat not seasoned collector, I would not attempt it. But if you follow my instructions and you are careful, you could probably do it. It just requires some patience, some blisters on your finger. I literally got blisters on my finger the one day friggin' messing with it. But yeah, it takes some perseverance, I'll say that. But yeah, I mean, if anything really cool, you guys know I love doing my discussion videos lately. If anything really cool comes up where I can share my 2 cents on it, I don't do it for every single figure, just ones that I could really dial in on and share my thoughts on the outfits and things like that. Certainly I will do that. But that's going to wrap it up, guys. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Happy Halloween, everybody. Eat plenty of candy and have fun. Be safe.
Take care, everybody.